Ayo, Ashleigh Monet here. I am back in a matter of speaking. I can't lie, this video is going to be kind of a weird one. The format's going to be all over the place because it's kind of a mix of me explaining the highlights of everything that happened since I've been gone, a time in which I was extremely productive, but also then we're going to finish up doing like some current projects that I'm working on. So it's kind of weird, just bear with me. Now, where we last left off, I told you guys I was going to have surgery and I wanted to take some time off potentially. And at the time, I thought a week max, maybe. You see, I had a hysterectomy and I thought to myself, okay, well, this in no way impedes my ability to make art. So if I'm feeling all right, I should be like able to just keep going. If I don't feel all right, give it a week. Well, it's been 2 weeks now, no video, so in case it wasn't obvious, I did not bounce back as quick as I thought I was going to. So future Ashleigh here. It actually ended up being 3 weeks, and no, I had no intention of going 3 weeks without a video. But unfortunately, shortly after I recorded what you guys just saw, we did receive word that there was a death in the family. Cody's grandma passed. And that obviously took me like out of work mode, and we just kind of needed to take our time to just have to cope with that. Fortunately for us, it was not unexpected. It was not sudden. We both had our opportunities to say our goodbyes. We left everything on a very good note. She also had time to get all of her affairs in order, so thank goodness for that. And with that being said, I do want to dedicate this video to Nanny Marjorie's memory. She was such a beautiful soul and just the most caring ride or die grandma to Cody. And honestly to me, like by proxy, as soon as I joined the family, she was there for me too. Anytime something major in our life happened, any crisis, honestly anything good too, she was definitely our lighthouse and just the one we'd turn to for guidance. She had that sage wisdom. I actually kind of don't know, like in those big life situations, how we're gonna get along now that she's gone. I mean, we have to. It's part of life. Anyways, I definitely find joy in knowing that she's in a better place now. And I just know that she reunited with her late husband, Lyle, the love of her life, over on the other side. So I'm happy for her, but she will be very dearly missed. Love you, Nanny. I'm sorry to get heavy on you guys. You know, this is life though. Anyways, back to the video. Honestly, the entire first week, I was just bedbound. The pain was not bad at a controlled level. Like when I was laying down, when I was sitting down, I would sit at like a 3 pain level. No big deal, right? Totally manageable. But the minute I would stand up, it would shoot from like a 3 to like a 6 or 7. I did not enjoy that. So I pretty much like only stood up to eat and use the bathroom. I stayed in bed that whole first week. And when you're stuck sitting in bed, doing nothing for a full week, just observing the space around you, what happens? Well, if you're me, you decide that the entire house needs to be rearranged because the current configuration is not working for you. So funny enough, it's only been 6 or 7 months since we did our last like overhaul on the house where we rearranged all the rooms, painted everybody's rooms. A recap, we have 2 kids and live in a 2-bedroom condo that we bought when the market was hot with plans to move up eventually. Market went to crap, so now we're stuck here, and for years we've been trying to like make the space work and create an extra bedroom where there's not one. So in that series 6-7 months ago, we created a bedroom for Phoebe in a giant closet that we have. We redid Landon's room, and then in the largest bedroom that we had, we created a studio, which was literally where Cody and I would sleep, and then I had my art studio, and then we had like a playroom for Phoebe, all in one room. Well, Phoebe really hasn't been spending much time in her room apart from sleeping, but she also was not utilizing the playroom we made for her. She was still just bringing her toys out to the living room, which was the whole reason we did that transformation in the first place, was because I hated having her toys out in my living room. But anyways, as I'm sitting here recovering from surgery, thinking to myself, okay, what can we do to make this work? I decided Cody and I would move back out to the living room, which is where we used to sleep. We had like a studio apartment set up basically with a sleeper sofa so that we could sleep, but then also like chill. Ever since we've been in the studio, we bought 2 new couches and I wasn't about to lose a single one of them when we moved back out here. So we had to rearrange some things in the living room. Right now I'm on the sleeper sofa, but we still have the 2 couches. It's a little cramped, but that's okay. We've got places to sit, we've got places to sleep. And again, Cody and I have always liked sleeping out here in the living room. We have this like super big window with a great view, especially like in the winter when it starts snowing. Oh, so pretty, so pretty. So can't lie, super happy to be back in the living room. Meanwhile, then we moved Phoebe out of the closet into the big room. And now there's a strict rule that if she wants to play with her toys, she has to play with them in her room. She can't bring them out to the living room, but she has so much room to play, so she is loving it. Which only left us having to figure out what to do with the art studio. So naturally, we went ahead and moved it where Phoebe used to be, in the bedroom closet situation. Now again, I couldn't do any heavy lifting because I just had surgery. So bless his heart, Cody did pretty much all the heavy lifting for me within that first week. Now what was I doing? Well, again, bedbound, wasn't really much I could do to be productive, except I thought to myself, okay, I can like use my iPad. So that's exactly what I did. I decided to work digitally and do art that way. I decided it would be worthwhile to tackle a project that I have been teasing, y'all have been asking, and now I guess I'll let you guys know. Yes, there is a coloring book officially in the works. The plan is to release it around Halloween. I did get a lot of progress made on it during this little hiatus after surgery. However, not nearly enough. There is still so much to do. I thought that just sitting around tracing my existing art was going to be like boom, 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 fast knockout, several pages a day. And no, as I'm tracing my art, I'm like, oh my gosh, there is so much line work here. It took a lot longer than I expected, but here's a little teaser, some sneak peeks of what's going to be in that book. So anyways, that was week 1. Once week 2 hit, I swear it was like a flip of a switch. Day 8 after surgery, no pain. I felt back to my old self again. It was so nice. So yeah, week 2, I jumped straight into painting Phoebe's room. Excuse the footage on this one. Like, I only recorded a few tiny snippets, definitely didn't do the whole thing. And believe me, I died a little inside at the thought of not using this round of room makeovers for content. But I also really needed to work fast. Like, I only had 1 weekend left before the kids started school. I wanted the house to be finished before that. And anyone who does the YouTube thing, like, you guys can attest to the fact that simply recording yourself doing anything at all just slows you down so much. So this time around, I said nope, I focused, I buckled down, and I knocked it out real quick. But I did get a couple little bits here and there. For Phoebe's room, we went with pink. That is her new favorite color, and did sort of an enchanted forest type theme. Like right now, she's really into fairies, butterflies, all that. So RIP to that under the sea theme that was her former obsession. I swear they change interests all of the time. But if I'm honest, like, these murals are really starting to take it out of me. This one took longer than any other. I was tired the entire time. I'm kind of overdoing the murals, so she's stuck with this for a long time. I'm not about to change it. It's cute though. The girl never complained about her last room being too small, but now that she's in the big one, she is constantly bringing up how much room she has to do things. Like, she'll ask Landon to go hang out with her in her room because, quote, now the room is big enough for him to fit. We got really lucky too because we had so much paint left over from last time that the pink was the only color we had to buy. Like, I love a cheap transformation, but I genuinely like this one. It is just sweet, it's cozy, and just crazy that it went from our little gothic, multi-purpose bedroom / art studio / playroom to this perfect little Princess Phoebe room. It definitely gives fairy tale vibes. Exactly what she was asking for. So like, that to me, I can tell she's loving it. And I am loving her toys being confined within these 4 walls, let me tell you. But mind you, that was only one facet of the makeover. We also had to turn Phoebe's former room, the super dreamy, under the sea themed walk-in closet, into my spanking new art studio. What? Now, I didn't film any part of this room because there was no mural or anything, just solid colors, but I am obsessed. It's all the same colors and decor of the big studio, but for some reason, when you downsize the space, it all just packs more of a punch, and I am living for the vibe of this room right now. Let me give you the mini tour of everything. This is the only new thing. My aunt gave me this amazing fancy new chair, and oh my god, it is so comfortable. Obviously, I have my art desk. I used to have 2 desks. I did have to downsize to fit in here, but nothing was lost. Between the desk drawers and some extra storage underneath, I was able to fit all of my supplies in here. Most of my shop supplies are in that tower of drawers, and when I'm making art, I can kind of just tuck my laptop off to the side there. But then when I need to make stickers, I can bring it back down onto the desk. And then right above that is the printer. Like the cutter, for example, I'll bring down to the desk when I need to use it. But then when I don't, it goes back on the shelf. And ignore this cord situation. The lack of cable management gives me so much anxiety. Hate cords. But over here, I've got my thermal printer and lots of shop supplies, shipping essentials, that kind of thing. Little Marlo the Mandrake is hiding back there. What else? We've got some spare markers randomly up here. My Ashleigh Monet Barbie, of course. Ooh, the original Voodoo Victor, Ave. My little Dino Duo paintings. More storage here. Nothing's in any of these yet, so I have extra room to grow. Drippy clock, of course. And that brings us to the new filming wall. Ugh, she's beautiful. So most of these were on my last filming wall and should look familiar, but this is new. It's a piece by Chantel Arts. I freaking love that. But when I put it up, it was so heavily white compared to everything else. So I went in and made some changes to my Sphinx cat print and made the background white so there would be some balance, and shut the front door. I kind of like it better this way. We, of course, have plushy Voodoo Victor, and I just had to add my plushy keychain pug from the last video. He is like my new favorite thing now. And usually when I miss an opportunity, you guys are all over it. And you're like, oh, you should have done this. And usually it's a very good idea. And I'm like, oh, I should have nuts. Nobody mentioned when I did my little plushy keychains, the bat. She could have been made to hang upside down. This whole time I was feeling kind of lukewarm about her, not in love with her. But now that she's hanging upside down, oh, she is just absolutely perfect. And then this. I could not believe that they were selling this at Walmart, guys. You may or may not remember in a previous Q&A, I had mentioned that the David is one of my all-time favorite pieces of art. So I saw that beautiful mug and I was like, he is coming home with me. And then I got this pegboard on Amazon, which has become amazing for holding the packing supplies for my shop orders. Like I've got my mailers, I've got my envelopes, thank you cards, my cello bags, my packaging stickers, and for fun, my Ghetto La Boo Boo right in the center. Boop. And it's even holding all of my sticker laminates too, like all of the holographic pattern laminates and of course the regular clear, but they all fit in here. Yeah, the pegboard has been amazing. Such a space saver. Oh, and right now, this shelf is empty. This is where my sticker storage is going to go. However, here's one of my sticker towers and, yeah. Did I hang that shelf myself? Yes, I did. Did I measure it beforehand to make sure that there would be enough clearance for one of my sticker towers? Yes, I did. But I guess I didn't measure twice. Something went wrong in the hanging process and we lost just the tiniest bit of space, but that made it so it didn't fit. So, my bad. But that's okay, because most of these stacks have 1 or 2 drawers at the top that are empty. I just need to pop one off of each and we'll be good to go. They will fit. So yeah, that's what I've been up to, and my goal was to be finished with all of this by yesterday, because in order to have a video go up this week, I need to record something today. I really don't want to go 3 weeks without a video, but unfortunately, I'm not finished yet. I still have a few little itty-bitty random projects in these 2 rooms that I need to complete in order to be done. But again, I don't want to not have a video, so you know what? You guys are going to do these projects with me, and that's going to be this week's video. Plus the catching up and telling you what's been going on. I told you, the format of this video is going to be all over the place. I don't even know what it's going to look like to edit. But hey, we're learning together. Let's do some projects. So first in here, just 2 kind of little things. My David, who I love so very much. I do not love that he is white. It's just a little too jarring. I want to make him look kind of a distressed white, like aged marble, like what he's made out of. That should be a fairly easy project just to kind of give him a little bit of color. But then also, I'm gonna seem so anti-white, but I mean, come on, I'm a dark-souled girl. I don't love white, I don't. Anyways, I got these little itty-bitty plants from IKEA just to kind of spruce up the space, but that little white planter could not be any more boring if it tried. So I actually have a plan to make these look like dripping gold, because I love that. I love my drippy clock. Let's try and bring that here. And that should finish up this space. We're going to start with the IKEA mini fake plants. I told you guys I want to make them look like they're dripping gold. And my secret weapon for the drips is going to be hot glue. Ayo. Such a cheap, easy, and effective way to add a little flavor to something that's otherwise pretty basic. Not gonna lie though, IKEA is just so great for fake plants. People who have watched the channel for a while know I cannot keep real plants alive. Like, I am the grim reaper of real plants. So fake plants are my jam. I have so many. I knew the number was over 70 from my last count, which was a couple of years ago, but I figured I'd do a new count because I've definitely accrued more since then. And are you guys ready for this? The number is 103. I have 103 fake plants. Like, I have a problem. Anyways, I repeated the drips on all 3 mini planters, and then it was time to paint the gold. I love gold. I've definitely used that GIF before, and it never gets old, because I'll never not love gold. These did require, I think it was 3 coats of the gold paint altogether, which took all of about 5 minutes, like apart from the dry time. So again, minimal effort, and I think they just look infinitely better now than they did when they were just boring plain white. Love them. Moving on. Okay, so this project of distressing my David really warrants very little explanation. Like, I'm literally just taking darker shades of cream and tan and kind of brushing those into the crevices just so he doesn't look so clean and new, but instead looks like he's, over 500 years old. So I thought I could take this opportunity to talk a little bit about the hysterectomy and why I had it. Because a lot of people have been asking, and I'm happy to share. Like, I'm not shy, I'm an open book, but I will give a disclaimer because I know a lot of people will be weirded out hearing about lady stuff and think it's TMI. So all of you people, you can just go ahead and mute the video, and once you see my face again, I'll be done talking about it, okay? It'll be safe to unmute. Well, a little background info. I have always had very heavy and very painful periods. I've tried in the past to get some relief for my symptoms, but if you're a woman dealing with similar issues, like, you probably know all too well that medical professionals really don't take you seriously when you try to address something like this. They're like, yeah, periods suck. They hurt for everybody. If you want, you can get on birth control and that should help, which in my case was not true. Like, over the years, I've tried so many methods of birth control. They never affected my flow. They certainly didn't reduce my pain, and the hormones really messed with my mental health. Anyways, I had just resigned myself to accepting that this would always be my life, and I would just cope with a debilitating week every single month that involved lots of painkillers and loads of bloody laundry. Get on an iron supplement and suck it up, buttercup. Well, in May, I got my period, and it was the usual doozy, very heavy, very painful, only something was different. Something was wrong. I could always time my periods by Big Ben. Like, boom, every 30 days, bleed for 9 days. Only it didn't stop this time. It just kept going. And we're not talking about spotting, like full on flow. I ended up having to go to the hospital on day 13 after I fainted while putting away groceries. Get to the hospital, I'm severely anemic despite being on the iron supplement. And an ultrasound showed that I still had a full cycle's worth of lining to shed, meaning I was going to keep bleeding. So they give me some meds to stop the bleeding and tell me to follow up with my gynecologist. The meds do not stop the bleeding. I see the gynecologist 3 days later, and she reviews the ultrasound and diagnoses me with adenomyosis. From my understanding, I guess that's a condition that's really similar to endometriosis, but instead of uterine tissue growing outside of the uterus, it grows within the muscle layer of the uterus. Anyways, we have a talk about treatment options and preserving my fertility, and respectfully, I said that. I'm in my 30s, I've had my kids, I'm done, and she scheduled me for the hysterectomy 2 months out. And so began the quest to stop the current bleeding so I could, make it to the surgery alive. It took 3 different types of pills plus a depot shot, and after a total of 47 days of bleeding, it finally stopped. Hallelujah. Get this though, I started bleeding again a month later, much lighter, but I started on my birthday, July 15th. Now, fun fact, my first period ever started on my 11th birthday. My last period ever started on my 34th birthday. Oh, Mother Nature, she's got a sense of humor. But I bled straight up to my surgery, which was July 30th, so 15 days. Like, who knows how long it would have kept going if not for the hysterectomy. But I got it done. Everything went smoothly. Oh, they did leave my ovaries. A lot of people ask what degree of hysterectomy I got, and I have my follow-up appointment next week where we're going to go over the pathology and all of that. But yeah, that's the story behind my hysterectomy. I'm so glad it's done and over. I feel like $1,000,000, and I'm so relieved to know I never ever have to deal with the blood or the pain again. However, because I do live in the US, which is notorious for having a completely broken healthcare system, even after insurance, I am drowning in thousands of dollars in medical bills, and I know they haven't even all come in yet. Ugh, it's so stressful. Help me, I'm poor. So given this time of need, I decided it was finally time to launch channel memberships. Now, I've been flirting with the idea of doing this for a while. Like, I've been wanting some extra way to interact with people that subscribe to me, you know, in a way outside of normal YouTube videos. But the thing with channel memberships, like, I just can't get down with, I don't understand the people that get, say, a Patreon and they want you to join and you get nothing in return. Like, they just want you to pay for them existing. I've never understood that. And I always told myself if I was to offer channel memberships, like, I want to give something in return. There should be perks for the people that are becoming members. And again, the main focus should be, here's ways to interact beyond YouTube. Have more conversations, get more bonus content, that kind of thing. So I haven't done memberships. I've been dragging my feet while I'm like brainstorming what kind of perks would my audience want. But I think I've got it figured out. I think I've got some things that you guys are gonna like, and I'm excited to get memberships going. I'm gonna tell you all about it, but we have more work to do in Phoebe's room. Just a couple of little projects in here. First, she has this little butterfly trail leading to a greenery patch. The greenery is recycled from what used to be in the studio, but it's bare now, except we added flowers. And I wanna put a little name sign up there for her. Just a little Phoebe. And I needed to somehow bring the butterflies and the flowers together because I kind of feel like they don't match. Like, the butterflies are bright and bold and the flowers are very soft and pastel. Okay, I'm using foam board because I wanted something rigid that I could hang easily. I had a little inner turmoil over what kind of font to use. I went with the fun kind of 70s bubble groovy font, but even now I'm not 100% certain that was the right choice. Whatever, it was a choice. I made the base the same pink as her walls, but decided to give it a little extra flavor by making it look like glitter. Here it is, done and in the space. I do think it's super cute, and I did add some more butterflies to it to tie it in. I felt like it still didn't mesh with the flowers, so I did cut those off. But yeah, it looks all right, I think. Let's talk memberships. I'm going to call mine the More Monet memberships, which I think works because that's kind of the idea. You guys want more of me, this is how you get more. Much like Patreon, you pay a monthly fee, and in exchange, you unlock a few perks and bonus content. However, I will not be using Patreon. I have heard not great things about them, just as far as them having a ton of features that if you don't use, you're kind of missing out because they take larger fees to allow for those extra features. So I will be hosting my memberships through the Buy Me a Coffee page. I will have 3 tiers of membership available, and obviously as they ascend, they'll get a little bit more expensive, but you also unlock more and more perks and features as you move up. So the first tier I'm calling the green tier, and it will be $1 a month. In the green tier, you get your name in my video, so whenever I mention memberships, I will list all of my members in the video. Your name will be on the list, and you'll also unlock access to behind the scenes posts. Now these can either be written stories or pictures, could be really anything in my life. Me, my kids, the cats, works in progress, shopping trips, vacations, me laid up in bed after surgery. You never know, whatever I feel like posting. But it'll give you a little peek behind the curtain of what's happening when I'm not creating videos. That is the green tier. The second tier is the black tier. Now the black tier is going to be $3 a month, and you'll get everything that you get in the green tier, so your name in the video, the access to the behind the scenes posts, but also you will be granted access to certain polls that I put out. I feel like as a creator, there's a lot of things that I kind of need opinions on. And right now, the only artistic opinion I have is Cody's. And I love him, but he's no artist. So if I'm stumped on a project and need help deciding where to go, I can post that for my members and y'all can weigh in and tell me. Help your girl out, weigh in, give your opinion. That is a perk of the black tier. And this is where things get really exciting because black tier members get a shop discount at my shop, artwithash.com. Black tier members will receive a code every single month to get 10% off any purchase made at my shop. But it gets even better when you go to tier number 3. And if you guys can guess what tier it is, I was trying to send some subliminal messaging here. It is the gold tier. So in the gold tier, of course, you get everything from the black and green tiers. Your name in the video, the behind the scenes posts. You get to weigh in on polls, give me your opinions. You also get a discount at my shop, but it's an even better one. Gold tier members get 20% off any purchase at artwithash.com. That is a steal. Furthermore, gold tier members are going to be the only ones with access to bonus videos. So like I said, the behind the scenes posts can be pictures, they can be written stories, but bonus videos are going to be gold tier only. And the kind of videos I imagine I will be posting might just be mini art projects, again, potentially works in progress, maybe out and about fun days with the family, that kind of thing. Just a mini video every now and then. Maybe if I get really far ahead, we can start talking additional full-length videos. I certainly don't want to make any promises for that right now. I struggle to just get the one a week, but there's potential. Right now though, bonus mini videos. And as just a little cherry on top of the sundae of this gold tier membership, you're gonna get a special shout out after you sign up. So you join the gold tier and then the next video that comes out, I will specifically say, thank you so-and-so for signing up for the gold tier. So again, it's like your name on the list, but you get extra recognition, elite recognition for being gold tier and everybody knows it. We all like to feel fancy. But yeah, those are the memberships. And the great thing about the Buy Me a Coffee page is if you're not interested in a monthly membership, but you still want to support me in some way, Buy Me a Coffee allows you to just do a one-time donation. No strings attached. So there are options for everybody. I love that. And the last project, we have 2 little screws sitting here in the wall and they are waiting for me to create a pair of job charts for Phoebe. All I needed for this project were 2 large frames. We got these super cheap at our last IKEA run, but basically Phoebe is at that age where she's finally becoming a lot more independent and we're working toward her being able to fully get herself ready for school in the morning and ready for bed in the evening. So we're going to create 2 checklists for her with her morning and her evening jobs. This was the system we used for Landon when he was little and he loved it. You put the checklist in the frame and then they can use a dry erase marker to check off the jobs as they go. And then you just erase it and start over the next day. Pretty cool. With that, the job charts are finished, and now we just have to get them in their frames and hang them up. I put her little marker on Velcro up there too, so it's easy to grab. Oh, hi, Presley. These have been so great for her so far. She really loves using them and seems to have this little sense of pride every time she crosses off a task in the morning or the evening. Like, this girl takes her jobs very seriously. Ugh, I just freaking love her. Well, I guess I'm finished now with all the little bits and bobs that were needed to finish off these rooms. I'm so glad we are finally done. I'm beyond ready to move on and get back to my regular content. Oh, I didn't mention one of the things that I did week 1 while I was kind of stuck in bed. I did do my sketches already for the next episode of Create This Book. So I'm actually really excited for that, itching to do that. So that'll be next. I'm really sorry that I just couldn't get there this week. Obviously that was the plan, but you know, sometimes things happen, like having a major surgery and then deciding you needed to redecorate your entire house. But hey, you know, I'm glad you all could be here with me doing the little kind of random projects. I think that that was kind of a fun video. So thank you so much for watching. And if you do want to support me more, interact with me more outside of YouTube, then please do consider joining the More Monet memberships. I would be eternally grateful. My medical bills will thank you, and we'll have some fun together. But with that, until next time, goodbye.